Hey everyone, hopefully having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel is Finding Value. Today we're going to do our daily technical analysis, updated commodities. We'll work our way through the dollar, yields, precious metals, and commodities ETFs that I follow. I'll interject my financial opinions as we go through it. And if you need help with anything, check out finding-value.com. That's where I dive deeper into all these topics, looking for investment opportunities, sharing all those investment opportunities with everyone in the community. I do a lot of trainings too on my approaches to the market. What I've learned over all the years, it's a three-pillar approach: technical analysis, ratios, and market cycles. So if that intrigues you, or if you just want to find companies for this bull market in oil, energy, precious metals, fertilizers, tankers, so shipping, dry bulk. There's a bunch of sectors that we follow in the commodity space. Definitely try it out. Special is the coupon code. Special is what you type in. 50% off the first month on the monthly membership, and a larger discount on the yearly membership if you'd like to join the yearly membership. Let's dive in, take a look, see what's going on today. DXY getting a bounce in yields and the dollar. We're at support still, and we are getting a little bit of support at support. And we're bouncing. Now, could this be a double bottom? It could. It could. It might not be. We'll have to wait and see what this looks like, if there's follow through to the downside or a bounce higher. Now, does that matter to my approach? No, it doesn't. It doesn't matter if this goes up a little bit for a couple of months and then breaks down. It doesn't really matter to me. The short term, since I'm a longer term investor, yeah, it's no big deal. But we're watching it. We'll see if it breaks. If it breaks to the downside, basically your commodity bull market's going to be alive and well. And I do think it will at some point break lower with time. With time. I think they'll sacrifice the dollar to try to slow down the bond market. We've got the 2-year yields are up about 1%. That still looks good to go higher. I don't know if I've got the arrow in there. No, I don't, but that looks good to go higher. We have a shoulder, head, shoulder that's developed, and that's generally a bottoming pattern, and we'll see if we can break higher. The 10-year yield up 1%, bouncing off support. We're on top of the pattern, which is here. This is the big pattern there. That looks good to go higher. The 30-year yield also sitting on top of pattern is looking good to go higher, and it was up today. Bullish piercing, which generally resolves upward. So yields all look like they want to go higher, and that usually drags the dollar along with it at the DXY. Bond prices are down 1%. You back out. We've been in a bear market, basically. The peak was in 2020 here. Ever since 2020, the bottom of yields, the top in bonds, has been moving lower. The 2 and the 10, we're still getting yield curve inversion a little bit, and we'll see if that will continue. Now, why is this important? Well, I mean, historically, we've gotten recessions every time this thing falls off a cliff. The downside. C19, housing crisis, 9/11, another housing crisis or slowdown. And those are recessions. But what is coming could be a slowdown that's inflationary and might change the dynamics a little bit. YX-TNX ratio is moving sideways today. But that is still, I'm going to change this. That is a bullish formation to go higher. This is right there. You get a big green candlestick, small, little guys. This is also a bullish engulfing. So that is a reversal candlestick right at support. And we'll see if we can go higher with this yield. Yield curve, I should say. Gold's up $50 an ounce, breaking out to the upside, closing at all-time highs over there. So that looks good. And that looks like it could easily continue. Silver's slightly higher, still looks good. We're above support. And this does look like we could go higher with time. Still looks good. Platinum's down 5% today. That does look like a reversal candlestick, and we could go lower or sideways, consolidating. A lot of the times what occurs is you break out of the pattern, like we've done. Let me go on a little bit shorter Then we get a wick at the top there. Generally, that's a reversal candlestick, and we might consolidate or consolidate lower. We could even do a retest back here, which is possible. So that's what I would expect out of platinum. Palladium's down 2.52% today. Pulling on back a little bit, but this still looks bullish on the longer term, double bottom. XEU to gold ratio heading a little bit higher today, 0.2%. And again, we are still at a very low ratio where this could go higher. Gold and silver mining companies could outperform gold. We've broken the downtrend. Everything looks A-OK for gold and silver mining companies to outperform. GDX is up 1.76, still looking bullish in that upward move. GDXJ also still looking bullish, up 0.86, and SILJ up 0.5, trying to break out here of this little consolidation pattern that we've got. All looking bullish to move higher. Crude oil up massively, 7.4% today. Very, very big move. We did get some selling pressure throughout the day. It wasn't just cruising all the way up and closing at its peak. So what we got is we got a major breakout, and I'll show you what we broke out of. And then we're doing a consolidation here of the three humps. My humps, my humps, my humps, my humps. And we've broken that to the upside. So this could very well keep moving to the upside. Now this is 5-minute chart, so don't get too bulled up. These can reverse very quickly, but that is a consolidation on top of this big pattern here. We are consolidating on top of that big boy going across there. This is all bullish, in my opinion. It's all very bullish. TTF gas up about 4%. That still looks really good to go higher. I've got my arrow there. And notice that my mind hasn't changed. Even though we've broken out of the downward wedge, we've gone sideways. It's still going to go up, in my opinion. Natural gas up 3%, still sitting underneath resistance that we haven't broken out of yet. There's the trend line resistance that we are trying to break out of. Our boy XOP, yeah, you know me, up 2.7% today. That's still cruising higher. I don't see a lot of red candlesticks in there. No reversal candlesticks. Still looks good to go up. That also matches my flipped move perfectly. This here is how the stock fell. A lot of the times, the way the stock falls is the way that it goes up because it hits the same resistance points. And it creates similar patterns, usually not as clean as this thing. Because when I flipped it, I mean, this thing's a direct overlay. My Lord, that is very similar. And we could easily go something like $300 in XOP pretty easily. OIH up 1.5%. Looking good. Still looks good to go higher. I don't see any reversal candlesticks. We're underneath this resistance here. We'll have to get through that eventually. We've got, and that could easily create another shoulder, head, shoulder pattern. Something like that could occur. Newcastle coal futures are up 1.35%. That looks good to go higher as well, and this is a potential bottoming pattern bouncing off of support on the longer time frames. Profits of Uranium Trust down 0.62%, and we're right underneath resistance. I think it's going to be go time here soon. We're going to break out of this. That's my guess, very soon. So that looks good. The uranium price slightly lower, but again, this is just consolidating sideways here in my little pattern I got. And guys, this pattern, it's just a guess. It's not supposed to be like perfect. So this could also move in a way that is angled downward. I just draw it in there real quick. So it's consolidation. We don't know exactly what it looks like. URA is up 0.33%. This thing is ready to go. It wants to run. Let it run. We're sitting on top of all of this resistance that we broke through. Now it's support. we could see a very, very, very big move, guys, in a very short period of time. Uh, One of the reasons is I think this is wave one, I think this is wave two, and we are entering wave three. Wave three is the largest, biggest wave. If you were to compare it to something, and this is extra credit for everyone, this is what I think is occurring. This is Kazatomprom, just to give you a little extra nudge there. But that's what I think is coming. Wave one, wave two, wave three, wave four, and wave five. And this fractal, it's a repeating pattern over time that I've seen. That's what I think is coming. And this is probably where Kazatomprom will end up. Now, I've got a whole bunch of other companies, and this here is also the same for a bunch of different commodity sectors. I've grabbed the largest wave one fractals here, and I'm invested in those for what is coming. If you have a larger wave one fractal, what that means is that this will be distorted upward like that, and you'll get bigger returns. So if that's what you're looking for in this commodity bull market, definitely sign up to the website, because that is some of the things that I analyze. And it's not just technical analysis. There's the fundamentals and the earnings calls and all that stuff I go through too. Even for myself, I go over all that to have an informed opinion. So coming back up to, I believe it was URA that we were at. The URA is doing that. There's your fractal that's there. And we've broken into wave three, in my opinion. Uranium is also doing the same thing, 0.91%. This looks good to go higher. Just we're getting close to a very big breakout here. We had a little bit of resistance here. And then I think we are going to run Forest Run, Slingshot Cheetah, whatever you want to call it. We've got URNJ also 0.75%. That's a pretty nice candlestick that we've got today. A little bit of a cluster of a consolidation, and I think we will break. It looks good. We've got nickel down 1%. There's still sellers here, and maybe the overall market is a little bit more bearish on nickel and some of the base metals than some of the other sectors like energy and precious metals, which are very, they do very well under stagflation. Nickel may not do as well under a stagflationary environment, and maybe they're pushing stagflation. Maybe it's all engineered on purpose. Copper's also down 1.73%. The war coming out, maybe a little bit of scare and fear in the market a little bit. Copper down 1.22 for the ETF of the equities, but still on top of support. So we could be doing maybe a return move out of this breakout there. Lithium's down 1.8%. Again, I'm still bullish on this. This looks good. I think it's a double bottom. We've got REMX also doing a double bottom, and I'm still bullish on that, but it was down 0.3%. Still looks good to go higher. This is just a consolidation on top of support. Iron ore chopping sideways. No updates there. Still looks good to go up. Aluminum down 0.7%, and that's got more of a bearish flat, inverted flag pattern that could break lower. Baltic Dry Index ripping higher, 9.5% higher. Be exact. That looks good to go higher, higher. We've got emerging markets down. With the stronger dollar, this did reverse. A little bit of sideways action. Fear is going to impact interest rates and the dollar in a negative, could be a negative way for emerging markets in the short term. Move up 0.37%. That still looks fantastic to move on up. Right at support, bouncing off support. KRE down 2.7%, probably doesn't like the stronger yields. And this year, with the war coming up between Israel and Iran or whoever else gets pulled into it, but I think the stronger yields are weighing on this. It's going to weigh on XHB as well as it's pulled on back. So this is a shoulder head shoulder, but with recent markets, if the yields continue higher, we could see this weigh on KRE and XHB, homebuilders, and the regional banks. We also saw selling pressure in the Russell 2000. I'm just going to leave the arrows there just because today, and we'll see if there's follow through. That occurred in the SPX. which had rising wedges as well, almost like somebody knew this was going to be released, the news, and the NASDAQ with the rising wedge, and it broke to the downside. But there's not a ton of follow through here, so may not be that bad. We'll see. SMCI down 4%, still in the pattern. Still looks good to break higher on a double bottom. We've got NVIDIA down 2%. Again, this doesn't look horrible. We've got a bullish engulfing here, and then a small little red candlestick. So, and a rising wedge in front of it. I mean, the rising wedge is bearish, but this is a bullish candlestick there with not a lot of follow through. So again, we'll see what happens. Bitcoin's down 0.7%, but sitting on top of support. We've got Ethereum down 4%, just underneath support. Not a ton of follow through here. If you're going to break lower, generally you'll see a strong closing towards its bottom here. But that bounced. That came back up. So again, we'll see if there's follow through next week to the downside for these, Bitcoin and Ethereum. MicroStrategy's up a little bit, bullish engulfing there. We'll see if it's got follow through to the upside. I'll get this out of here, but this is a fight between the buyers and sellers right here. And the VIX spiked 15.55% with the news that came out, just like this was squeezing. I said, oh, we could get a spike up in the VIX and maybe a pullback in the S&P 500, and that's exactly what we saw. So that's what I've got for today, guys. Give me a thumb up for the content. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe to the website if you'd like. And that's all I've got for today. We've got a Sunday question and answer session coming up at 5 p.m. Mountain Time on Sunday. So I'll see you guys there. Bring your questions. I know you guys have sent in a lot of questions, and we'll see how many we can get to, all the questions that were sent in. So that's all I've got. So we'll catch you next time. This is Finding Value.